Hi everybody. So the last video was a false alarm about doing the tank sealant. This is it. So there's the cups. There's all the stuff I was talking about. I got some paper cups to actually do the sealant in and drink booze out of. I got plastic spoons in a box right there. There's my kitchen scale that I stole from home. And I also have some clear cups for drinking larger quantities of booze as well. I'm only kidding. So here it is. So there's the mixing. So you can see I've got the two spoons. Basically, if anyone's ever made croquettes, where you use two spoons, or ever use meringue, big spoons to make meringue, croquette style size, you'll know what I'm talking about by scraping of the spoons to get all the stuff off. So I'd never really worked with tank sealant on aluminum with aircraft, at least not this tank sealant. I'm always used to having it out of a tube and a gun. So this is a nice. I think this is a good piece for people to practice with, because you will more than likely do like I do and make a total mess out of it. Because you try. You try to keep everything clean, but by God, it's hard. I mean, because like I said, this is the stickiest substance in the universe. You accidentally touch anything on it, and it's gonna pull some away. For instance, you will see my dumb ass, and I probably go through about a dozen pair of rubber gloves just for this one piece. Because at one point I tried putting my hand into the bag of 426 3-35 rivets just to grab one, and because my hand had even been in the vicinity of the tank sealant, I think I wound up pulling like 10 out, and they're all stuck all over my fingers. So there's two ports. They have 5 rivets apiece. I think it's the VA 141 pieces. So there's one at the top and one at the bottom. And oh, good point. So here I'm actually taking one of my extra large flat dimple dies. I think it's probably half-inch dimple die. Sorry, not dimple die. Rivet set, flat set, and cutting almost half of it off, because the rivets sit very close to these ports. I mean, they're basically MPT ports, and they stay very close. And because of that, you need to have a much smaller diameter rivet die in order to rivet it all the way down and not catch the actual part of the port itself. And then after doing all of the gooping on, you can then go back through. I was using rubbing alcohol, but acetone's better. You can actually go through and spot clean off sealant wherever you've touched, and it will go everywhere. Because you want it to at least look like you know what you're doing. I'm just glad acetone doesn't dissolve aluminum, or I wouldn't have any left. So yeah, I've been using so I tried using the 1-inch foam brush, and it works pretty good, but 1 inch is pretty too wide. So what I've started doing is using the foam paint brushes, but using scissors and cutting the foam tip to a fine point. If you don't need to spread 1 inch wide tank sealant paths, then don't use a 1-inch brush. There I am gooping it on. So once everything was riveted in, so basically you got two pieces of metal, you put the tank sealant between the two. There will be rivets there. Great. Click on those together, push the rivets through, make sure that there's tank sealant on both sides of the rivet hole. Then you rivet it on, and you're going to get tank sealant on something. You just will. It'll get on your squeezer, it's going to get on everything. And then once the rivet's squeezed, check for evidence that you've got tank sealant around the rivet. If you do, great. And then on both sides of that, I just go ahead and slather more on. I want this thing done right the first time. I don't care if there's some extra tank sealant. There's no way to make this stuff look pretty. Actually, there is, and I'll talk about that later, but that's that. Just assume for now that there's no way to make it pretty. Anyway, gonna keep working on this, and I think we're done with that for now. I don't know what we'll be doing in the next video, but anyway, see you soon.